going on, everybody? Welcome to Barrelup Podcast with your host, John Carlos. I got my boy, Daryl, the guru. You already know this guy. You've seen him how many times? Numerous times. As he is the co-host of this show, and we are Barrelup Podcast. This is episode 33, titled The Last Week of Baseball. This episode, we want to thank you guys for all the support and all the comments, the likes, the attention that you give us as we have reached 200 subscribers on YouTube, and we are very grateful for that matter. Daryl, anything to say for the fans real quick?
Super grateful. I mean, we started almost 2 years ago. I mean, now look where we come.
It's all thanks to you guys, and we want to give you that gratitude, as we just said, and all the glory to you guys. Thank you for being faithful, for always being there. Sky's the limit. We are on the verge of getting 1,000 followers to start with. That's our first goal, and you guys are helping us with that. With that being said, welcome to episode 33, guys, as today marks the final week of the regular season of baseball in 2020. It's been something. It's been something very unpredictable and very fun to watch as we have seen these 60 games unfold for every major league team. Daryl, what do you think is going on as we arrive at the last week of Major League Baseball regular season?
I mean, as you're seeing, a lot of teams are punching in their tickets for the postseason. A lot of teams are packing it up for the year. My man Justin Simmons opted out for the Angels. God,
that looks bad. But anyway,
I mean, you can say that. But yeah, it's been exciting. It's the final week of baseball. There's a couple teams that are still in the race for the NL. Yeah. I believe it's like a 5-team race for the last 2 spots, and it's gonna be pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting. A lot of teams have and players have as Daryl said, are opting out, and it seems like a lot of teams, quote unquote, the Mets, are making plans for the future and have opted out of this season as well, as they're a team that looked very, very positive that was going to the playoffs and stuff like that to begin with, but now they're not going, and they're certainly thinking about the future. When I say that, I say this: Steve Cohen has bought the Mets for a record of $2.4 billion. The deal has contingencies such as the Wilpons keep 5% of the team, meaning that now Steve Cohen owns 95% of the team, pending 23 out of 30 votes from the other owners right now. Daryl, for the foreseeable future, what do you think?
Finally, I mean, the reign of terror is over for the Mets. The Wilpons will be gone, essentially. Steve Cohen is a lifetime fan of the Mets. Grew up a Mets fan. He's from Long Island.
That's right.
And he wanted this team. He really wanted this team, and he got it. I think they're going to be set up. He's a billionaire. He's going to dump money into that team. So I think they'll be a big player in the next couple off seasons.
The most crazy fact is that when bids started to circulate for the Mets, the price was ranging from 2 to 2.7 to 3 billion, and there were numerous investors that wanted to buy the team, and the Wilpons said no, we want more money, and they actually got more money because Cohen just coughed up 4.2, right?
2.4.
2.4. So actually, those numbers are right. I thought it was inverse. I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money for one person to buy the team because J-Lo and A-Rod also had efforts of buying that team. And sky's the limit for the Mets as well. We also learned that Johannes Cespedes, why he really opted out of this year. It wasn't no really coronavirus news like he was saying that he opted out because of that. Everybody was saying that, even the first initial report said that. But in reality, the guy didn't like the way he was being used in the season as a DH. Daryl, do you really think that was necessary?
I mean, it was a little bit selfish on his end. He hasn't provided much since he was on the Mets. I feel like they did reduce his contract and provided his contract with incentives. So he had to hit a certain number with his stats and have a certain amount of appearances and games played. And he felt like he wasn't being used to the capacity where he could surpass those incentives. So
that's understandable, but imagine what the Mets would have been with that bat as well.
I mean, he started off the season pretty good. He simmered down a little bit, but that bat was critical.
It was critical. That's a team that could have been contending, as there aren't anymore, but the Braves in that division, the Braves are looking mighty, 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 mighty powerful as they head to the postseason. Other teams also have been suffering big time, as are the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros have lost their key pitcher, Justin Verlander, as he will undergo Tommy John surgery this year. And that's not the only thing that has been happening for that team. I'm laughing because this was very predictable. Their hitting is atrocious. Horse shit, as they say. Darryl. The only guy there that's doing something positive for that team offensively is Michael Brantley, the veteran. The veteran is hitting .310 right now. Other than that, Darryl will tell you.
I mean, yeah, the Astros. I picked them to make a deep postseason run and possibly win a World Series, and I'm sticking to it. Honestly, I feel like there's something about that team that they click. And I mean, obviously with the loss,
they're not clicking this year though, bro.
With the loss of Justin Verlander, I mean that's a big blow. But I feel like they're gonna find it with Dusty Baker at the helm. You can never count them out, honestly.
You can, but those hitting averages are literally atrocious. Can you tell the players, like the fans and everybody, what they're doing this year as compared to last year when they had the the cameras and the whole cheating aspect of their repertoire, as they were cheating for real.
Yeah. So guys like Springer, Brantley, Reddick, they're free agents after this year.
That's gonna be
so
big.
Those guys, I mean, they gotta get those stats up if they want that contract money. So Springer's batting .251, which is about slightly below average.
A guy that was an all-star last year, he's been for the last 3 years. George Springer.
Josh Reddick batting .228, a guy who is probably one of the most consistent hitters on that team the last several years.
Right.
.228, that's not good. And like you said earlier, Michael Brantley, .310, he's batting now. He's probably been the one positive of that team.
Carrying that team because Correa, Altuve is hitting 215. An all-star second baseman, undoubtedly, or maybe arguably, the best second baseman in the league right now, is having a year to forget. There's other players that are having years to forget, such as JD Martinez from Boston Red Sox. When we talk about the Boston Red Sox, it's like you don't want that's a whole topic of its own right there, because you don't want to start naming the all-stars that they have on that roster that have literally had the worst year. But you guys have. I'm sorry, not you guys. We have, because I'm a Boston fan as well, we have a foreseeable bright future with Alex Verdugo and those kids that are coming up as well.
Super bright future. I'm excited, actually.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Okay, man. So now we're going to talk to you guys about the contending teams that have already made the playoffs. Remember, this is the last week of regular season play. Right now, the last couple spots that are open are going to be filled with the teams that are going to the playoffs, meaning like the last two wildcard teams of respective leagues, American and National League. It's going to be exciting to see what's going to happen within the bigger picture then. But the teams that have made the 2020 postseason are as follows. You have the Tampa Bay Rays. Did they win the division yet?
They won the division.
No, not yet. They haven't game yet.
They
didn't clinch yet. But they have made the playoffs.
But it's won. The division.
The underdog team that Darryl likes, I like personally too. Our boy Willie Adames is there shining, tearing the cover off the ball. He hit a shot off Lugo the other day. Crazy, tearing the cover off the ball. The Yankees have been on an 11-game winning streak. Congratulations to the Yankees.
It was a 10-game. The Red Sox clipped that. Shout out to the Red Sox.
They did.
They lost some Blue Jays, but now they're winning again. The
Yankees are back in the playoffs. I'm not hating. I'm sorry for that profanity. But anyway, good job, guys. You guys are doing great. Hopefully, in the playoffs, those players can stay healthy so that they can bring some light to New York. Obviously, a New York team is up there, so we have to give some props in some way, some shape, or form, right? Whatever. Anyway, the Twins are also in the playoffs, as well as the A's, the Oakland Athletics.
So Oakland Athletics, actually, they clinched their
division. That's
division
awesome.
champs.
Great right there. And going on to the Central Division of the American League, we have the Cleveland Indians. Talking about the Cleveland Indians, let's stop right there for a second. The way that they made it to the playoffs, that in dramatic fashion, with one of our Dominican players, Jose Ramirez, which, hint, Jose Ramirez is a player that, you will be seeing, in the near future. In the near future, in Barrelup baseball. Just giving you guys a hint. You'll see. Anyway, Jose Ramirez literally swung the bat and drove the team into the playoffs with a walk-off home run yesterday. They are very exciting to see, as Jose Ramirez is one of the contenders for the MVP race in the American League. Now, moving forward to the National League. Darryl, you want to take away the National League?
Yeah, so the National League, the Dodgers won their 8th straight division title. That's 8 years in a row. I seen they put up a stat. Dustin May, one of the pitchers right now for the Dodgers, when they started this 8-game run, this eight-year run, he was a sophomore in high school.
Wow, look at that. And now he's playing at the best level of baseball.
And Clayton Kershaw and Clayton Jackson were the only 2 players to ever be at the beginning and at the end of this run.
That's crazy. That kid May is the one that's throwing 100 miles per hour, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Wow, that's crazy. They have a great set of kids right there and veterans, a mixture in the pitching rotation that is going to basically lock down that rotation going forward. I feel like they've been cheated of for the past couple years. They deserve a title, and now especially with Mookie Betts and all those guys,
I feel like this is
going to happen, bro.
So another team punched their ticket, the Atlanta Braves, division champs.
They
started off real rocky. Remember, they were like in last place. They went on like a 7-game losing streak.
Right.
They lost Mike Soroka, but they turned it around. They got guys like Max Fried step up. They got Cole Hamels back. And right now they're looking into the postseason. I think they're gonna play St. Louis in the first round again.
Okay.
So that's gonna be an exciting series.
Great.
Another team that punched their ticket. Finally, again, we'll see them. The Cubs. I feel like that team can go in there and wreak havoc. One of those balanced teams that have guys who can hit for power, average, get on base.
Even though that Javi Baez isn't having the greatest season that we know of him to have, but he's still producing and the leader of that team.
And then the final team, one of our favorites, San Diego Padres are in officially.
Oh baby!
Today, unfortunate news. It looks like Mike Clevenger, the pitcher they acquired in the trade deadline, will miss the postseason.
That's crazy, and they just got him. And we were talking about him in our last episode, as he was the key piece in that rotation that they needed going forward.
So those are the teams that are in right now. There are 4 spots left in the NL and 2 spots left in the AL.
It's going to be very exciting, man. It's going to be very exciting. A lot of critics before the season started saying, "Oh, 60 games is not a real season." I have loved each and every minute that I have watched this season undergo, and it has been one to remember, even with the circumstances that we're going through. Now, Darryl, let's talk about one of the most exciting things that is occurring, which is the AL MVP talk. Last episode, we gave you guys a little bit of a hint as to who are the contenders and what we think is going to happen, who is going to win the NL MVP. And this week, we're going to talk about the AL MVP, American League most valuable player. So, in the American League most valuable player race, there is 4 main contenders. We have Jose Abreu. We have the pitcher Bieber. What's his first name? Shane Bieber, a pitcher in contention for MVP. That hasn't been seen in a while.
Last one I think was Verlander. Clayton Kershaw and Verlander were the last 2
Look
pitchers
at that.
in the MVP.
Right? And then you have Mike Trout.
Obviously.
Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, obviously. He's going to have a great year every year, contending every year. He's like the LeBron of basketball, right? And then you have, we just mentioned him, Jose Ramirez, as he is the 4th contender in this race. And now I'm going to give the ball to Darryl, pass the ball to Darryl, as he's going to give you guys the stats of these 4 contenders. And we want to hear you guys in the comments saying who you think is going to win the MVP.
So, for my pick for AL MVP, it's probably no doubt Jose Abreu. He's batting .332 with 56 RBIs and 19 home runs.
Wow.
He's leading the pack in the AL. He's only behind Luke Voigt in home runs. Luke Voigt has like 21 so far.
Right.
Another one is Jose Ramirez. He's batting 289 with 44 RBIs and 17 home runs.
Close
He's
race.
leading the race. I mean, he's leading the pack for the Indians. Obviously, with his clutch home run last night, sent them to the playoffs. I think he's emerged as a top contender.
Definitely.
And then a lot of people are iffy about this because the pitchers do have their own award. But Shane Bieber, I mean, his WHIP is .86.
Incredible.
1.74 ERA.
1.74 ERA.
8-1. I mean, right now he's been the best pitcher in baseball this whole season.
It is exciting to see a pitcher even being on this list. Like, that goes to show that they take him in high regards, and he is young. He's a young starter for the Cleveland Indians. So if they can lock him up for the foreseeable future, then they're good to go. They're good to go. One last thing that we will mention before we go is the name of Manny Machado. Manny Machado has been added to the NL MVP race as this guy. You all know what he could do with the glove. They call him El Ministro. Le dicen El Ministro de la Defensa, in Spanish. But not only is he the minister in the defensive side, the guy can absolutely swing the bat, and he's showing it this year. A lot of people, listen closely so you don't misinterpret what I'm about to say, please. Because then you go putting words in my mouth, and then you're like, yeah, he said that. No, listen closely. A lot of people have asked me, oh, Giancarlos, who do you think is the face of the San Diego Padres? And I say, why do you ask me that, first and foremost? Oh, no, because, there's two players there that are literally the face of that franchise. And I was like, no, there's only one. And they're like, oh, who is the face of that franchise? And I say, who do you think? Oh, no, it's Fernando Tatis. I say, no, it's not Fernando Tatis. It's Manny Machado. What? Are you crazy? No. The future of the San Diego Padres, in my opinion, is Fernando Tatis. He's the sensation of baseball right now. The face of that franchise is Manny Machado. Why do I say this? It's because year in, year out, he has been, and he will be a consistent player, bearing injury. He will be a consistent player, giving you that 300 average per year or close to, 30 or more home runs, as he's shown for the last 6 years, and playing that platinum glove defense that he is capable of playing, that he should win as a third baseman. We all know who he is at third base. Having a plus side to the left of him as Fernando Tatis just makes him even better. Fernando Tatis can be the face of baseball, for God's sake. But he is the future of the Padres. What do you think? Talk to me about his numbers, and what do you think about his NL 2020 MVP and season? Manny Machado, man.
So I'm agree with you. Manny Machado is the face of that franchise. They gave him $300 million, so that proves it. He's batting .314 right now, with 16 home runs. I think that's tied for the league lead with Mookie Betts, and he's driven in 47 RBIs with 6 stolen bases. So obviously on top of the defense, he can obviously swing a bat. He's emerged. Fernando Tatis kind of like he was driving the truck at the beginning, and then now they switched over to Manny Machado.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be exciting to have two players perform the way they perform, like those two, Machado and Tatis this year. That team is gonna be real tough to get rid of in the postseason.
Very, very tough. Manny Machado, man. You sure it's not 17 home runs, Daryl?
Well, it's 16 for what I've seen. 16?
I think they have to update the page. I think I saw 17. I might be wrong.
Could be.
But listen to this. His average this year is 314. 314 as an average third baseman, giving you 16 to 17 home runs in the last week of baseball. One more week to play. It seems like day in and day out, Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis have been the highlight of ESPN, the highlight of baseball, hitting home runs, producing for that team. I believe that if other players that are above him or whatever on the MVP race, they lack a little bit, this guy can take it all. This guy can take it all.
Definitely.
Remember I said that. Manny Machado has the capability of taking it all in the MVP race. And this is the perfect year.
Another thing too, I don't know if you've seen it, there was a viral video, I think the first year he was with the Padres. he was playing against the Dodgers, and there was a Dodger fan heckling him. And then Manny Machado went to the fan. He said, "Listen, I bet you my contract, $300 million, that the Padres will win a World Series before the Dodgers."
The man said it first, and it's been very unfortunate to see what has happened to the Dodgers. But this year, it's more personal. This year, we will see both of those teams in the playoffs. And last but not least, we are giving 100% efforts into our own playoff run as we are, should I tell them? As we are planning to live stream the 2020 World Series of Baseball in the new Houston Astros Stadium. Stay tuned, guys. This is your host, John Carlos. This is Barrelup Baseball Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Barrelup_baseball. Subscribe. Keep on subscribing. Thank you for the love, guys. On Barrelup Podcast on YouTube. Guys, thank you for everything. We are out. Stay tuned next week for episode 34 as we have more and more surprises to come. Darryl, any last few words?
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on, baby. 2020 postseason happening. Stay tuned. It's going to be crazy. We're out.